Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Rebecca Rice, and I teach family photographers how to gain a life of financial freedom through a thriving photography business. Today, I'm giving you all kinds of tips on how to pose families with young kids. Let's get started. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified when new videos go live every single week. Plus, it just helps us with the algorithms so that other photographers just like you can find our videos and get help too. Now, before we get too far into our topic of posing families with young kids, I wanted to let you know about a free class I have available just for you guys. It's called The Keys to Effective Family Posing. Goodbye, Awkward and Stiff. So I have it linked in the description for you. If you want to check it out, you can sign up. It's completely free. Basically, this class is for you if you know that posing is one of your weakest links, if you find yourself freezing up or stalling during sessions trying to figure out what to do next. This posing class is for you. And so the feedback that we've gotten from students has just been incredible for them to be able, they learn so much and they're able to take what they learned and apply it into their very next family session. So if you want to sign up, you can do so for free in the link below. Okay, so I specialize in photographing families with young kids. I know for some people it really stresses them out. For me, I'm like, give me all the toddlers. I think it's so much fun. I really do find so much joy in photographing those families with young kids. But of course, I know that it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. And so I wanted to give you my best tips for how to photograph those young kids well in a way that gets these beautiful images that the parents are happy with, but also in a way that's fun for the kids because you don't want to squash their fun. So here are my favorite go-to tips for photographing families with young kids. The first thing I do is always pose the whole family together first. Some people ask, do you start with the little kids first and then add the family? Like, what order should you do things? I always start with the whole family together for a few reasons. One, it helps get everybody kind of warmed up where, I'm usually a stranger. They don't know me unless they've worked with me in the past, which some have, but a lot of the times they've never met me before or the kids don't remember me. And so doing the whole family together gives them a chance to kind of warm up to the camera, but also gives the little kids a chance to kind of watch and see how it's done, especially if this is their very first photo session that they've ever done. So they can look at big brother, big sister, what are they doing? They can look at mom and dad, kind of see what they're doing and learn to, follow directions and do what I ask them to do. Another reason this is really helpful is if they're a little more timid and kind of nervous about being in front of the camera, that we're not just starting with just them. That can be very intimidating. So with the whole family together, it's kind of acts as a safety net where they see, okay, I'm right here. Mommy and daddy are right next to me. I have, brother, sister. I'm in a safe place and it's okay that Miss Rebecca's taking my pictures. And so for them, it just creates a sense of trust that we get to build while we're doing the whole family together so that eventually when we get to the individuals of just that kid, that we've been doing this for a little while and they're warmed up to me and they're more comfortable than if we were to just start out with the little kid by themselves. That can be kind of scary. So we always start with the whole family together. Another thing that's really, really helpful when it comes to posing families with young kids is to use a posing workflow. Now, a posing workflow is basically just a list of shots that you're going to get with different groupings. And so you don't have to overcomplicate it, but the posing workflow, which by the way, if you sign up for my free class and stick around until after the Q&A, you get that posing workflow, the one I use in every single session, completely free. So sign up for the class if you haven't already. But what this posing workflow does is it helps you to use your time efficiently so that you're not moving people around a whole lot, and it helps you not forget important shots, which of course that's a must. But with the time aspect, with little kids, moving them around it takes a lot of time. So especially if you're doing something like mini sessions, it's still important with full sessions because you want to make sure you don't lose your light. But with minis, especially when you're on a time crunch, having a posing workflow is super helpful because it minimizes the amount of times you're moving little kids around. Kids just take so much time going from point A to point B. When you'd think that it wouldn't take that long, they just move slow. They move at a slow pace, they get distracted, they want to be silly. And so having a posing workflow minimizes the amount that the kids have to move. So for example, I start with the whole kids together, and then my very next shot is just mom and the kids. So I will have the kids stay where they are, and I pull dad out of the photo to come stand behind me, and the kids stay there so that they can do mom and the kids. From there, I'll take mom out and put dad in, and we'll do dad and the kids. But guess what? The kids still have not moved. So that is so much more time efficient than if we were to say, okay, let's do just little Sally by herself. Okay, let's do the whole family. Ooh, how about Sally and Jimmy? So everybody else move. That's a lot of moving pieces, and it takes so much time, and it kills their focus. That's a lot for a little kid to focus on. And so the least amount that you move them, the more successful you'll get in having them follow directions because they're not distracted by all the things going on. Another thing that works really well when I'm photographing families with young kids is to use posing prompts. Now, posing prompts, I have a whole video on that. We can link it below for you. But posing prompts are basically like very specific instructions that you give to a family, and it creates a very sweet, genuine moment. So some of my favorites are like tickle fight. So if the siblings are together, I have them all tickle the one in the middle. Or, we'll say run and give mom and dad big hugs. That's a really fun one, where mom and dad are in the background and then the kids run to them and give them big hugs. And then we get this really sweet like family candid shot. So posing prompts are a really great way to get those candids, but also to not make it seem like you're taking pictures, because sometimes kids just don't want to stand and smile. It's not fun for them. And so by gamifying the process through posing prompts, it treats it like we're just having fun. And so, maybe I'll have them all stand and I'll say, I want you to see who can scream the loudest. That's way more fun than, okay, stand and smile, right? Do I want the smiling photos? Absolutely. Guess what? I can still get stand and smile without telling them to stand and smile by using posing prompts. So that goes super well with kids. Highly recommend it. Also, in case you're wanting like more ideas of posing prompts, I actually have a resource. We have it linked in the description that gives you 60 of my favorite posing prompts. So I just gave you 3 really quick, but if you want all of them, there's 60. You can find it in the description. Okay, my last trick or tip for photographing families with young kids, this is a must, and it is bribes. I'm a huge fan of having bribes in family sessions because, especially with those young kids, they need immediate reward. And so we never start off with the bribes, and I should say, I don't provide bribes. Mom and dad bring the bribes, and it's whatever their kids like. Something that's a treat. Marshmallows are a really big favorite of mine because they're not super messy, but some families have gummies or, whatever, little puffs, anything that the kid would find exciting. We use that as a bribe, and I have the parents hold it and hide it until we absolutely need it. So we're going to do as much of the session that we can without bribes. I recently did a session with a family with 3 kids, and they had their bribes ready. They were so excited, and their kids did amazing. And like, we didn't have to pull out the bribes at all. We honestly forgot about them. So if that's how it goes sometimes, great. Sometimes you're going to get done with just the whole family together, your very first pose, and you're going to need some bribes. So that's okay. Use it when you need. But have it on hand, because man, it's amazing what you can get out of a kid when you say, hey, do this, and you can get a marshmallow. They'll smile for you really quick, pop the marshmallow in, let them chew, and then go on to your next pose. So bribes, I am a huge advocate for, and usually even the families that are like not big sweets people or not huge on bribes, they sacrifice for our photo session, and we get amazing photos. So big fan of Bribes. It always works, and you get really great photos, really great smiles out of it. So there you have it. Those are just a few quick tips for getting little kids to cooperate at your next photo session. So I would love to hear about how you implement these. So if you do give any of them a try, comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear how it goes. And if you have other tips for photographing families with young kids, you can comment them below too. And I'd love to continue the discussion here in the comments. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I can't wait to see you back next week for more big tips.